being toxic.
Every time he does this every day, man.
Why are you unbanning him?
I don't know, bro. Man.
Go. One more to go.
Welcome, everybody, to the Onward VR Master League Season 12, Week 15, the final venue showcase of the regular season, but certainly not the final venue showcase of this season, as we will be broadcasting the postseason tournament, which is to down the pipe. But regardless, we are here for the last broadcast on venues of Season 12 regular season. Vikings versus Dead Logic, two teams at the pinnacle of their game, with Vikings in particular currently ranked number 1 EU. I believe, is that accurate? I could be wrong on that, actually. If I'm looking at the... Yes, it has been. They're ranked 6. I'm thinking of Dead Logic, excuse me, who is ranked number 1 EU, number 2 worldwide, just underneath Error 404. So you're seeing two of the best in the Onward VRML duke it out this afternoon. And for those that are wondering what Onward is, it is a 5 versus 5 military simulator where the attacking team, Marsoc, attacks the objective that is being defended by the defending team, Volk. The idea is for the Marsoc team to get within a certain radius of the objective and enter in a 7-digit code to win the round. If they do that, they get themselves 2 points. Otherwise, you are trying to eliminate the opposing team to get yourself 1 point. It is a best of 7, and we play 3 maps in a series, so 3 best of 7s. Each round is roughly 6 minutes long, but can be shorter if the team eliminates their opposing team before then. So sometimes you'll see rounds done within 30 seconds, depending on the map and the team. This afternoon, I think we can expect a little bit of a variety of aggression and methodical pacing, and so you're really going to, again, see a great representation, I think, of high skill and high tier Onward this afternoon. Beneath me, you may see a few things. They are TBD. Those are the bans for the afternoon, as well as the map picks. Each team gets to ban one map in a select map pool that is predetermined but at the start of the season. Cargo and Downfall have both been banned, respectively, from Vikings and Dead Logic. And map 1 is going to be Subway. If you head on over to VRML.com, you can find the statistics of all of these teams, when all the games are going to be coming up, and what they've played. And we can see that Vikings on Cargo have a 2-0, a 0% win rate. They have lost the 2 games they have played this season on Cargo, and they've only played it twice this season. So very clearly a ban of, I think, weakness for Vikings, where they don't want to play a map that they're weak on. Over on Dead Logic, they have played Downfall in a similar respect only twice this season and lost it once. So a 50% win rate there, and again, not very comfortable on that range. The Vikings in particular do have some great shooters, and so it's smart to get rid of the Downfall as an option. Our first map of the day is picked is Subway, and that is an interesting choice considering Dead Logic's history on this map. It does have me thinking Vikings may have chosen side, because Vikings are the home team in this matchup. They would get first pick of map or side. It's something that I think hasn't happened this entire season, so of course it would happen in the last game of the season. But let me give the go-ahead to the teams, just in case they're waiting on me. But they are, I believe, choosing to start on the defending side Volk, and they're allowing the opposing team to choose the map, because I say this because Dead Logic they've played this map 8 times this season and won it 7 times. They have an 88% win rate on Subway. That is kind of crazy to be this high in the ladder and have that high of a win rate on a map and have played it that much this season. Really impressive stat there from Dead Logic. It makes sense why they're chosen into Subway for this first map. And yeah, it's not even a map. They're 3-1 on the other side for Vikings. So what we have seen is Dead Logic choosing Subway here. They'll start on the attack. Vikings will start on defense. And this should be an interesting kickoff to the series. This means that going into map 2, Dead Logic also get the map pick. So they're getting... It's an interesting investment in going in and wanting to start on the defensive side. Essentially what Vikings is saying is, well, we're going to choose to start defense no matter where we play. They feel that the Volk advantage, which is talked about sometimes, is powerful enough to get them wins. And amongst the community and players that play Onward, there is a concept that the Volk have an advantage. Because they start on defense, they have to wait for the team to come to them. They can hold angles, and that is sort of the advantage that you get, quote unquote, because some teams excel on Marsoc. Some teams are very good at attacking and know how to outroot certain defensive positions with utility and plays. And so I'm excited for the series. It's going to be interesting.
We're having so much fun, guys. Am I right?
Into the action we go, though, for round number 1 of map 1. Mantis going to take up a defensive position in the basement to kick things off, and a basement push coming in from Dead Logic. Heavy amount of suppressive fire just to deter anybody from coming down the stairs. Noctem is there on the corner. And they are going to take
killed
the
one
risk of
West Texas.
peeking. Novius is still here as well. They're going to come flying up for the kill. They don't
I
find
killed
it
2
either.
West Texas.
Quick double there for Noctum really throws a wrench into this offense's plan because now Blackout is kind of trapped between 2 spaces. They're going to push right into Mantis's line of sight. They'll go down, and 3 drop for Dead Logic. The remaining 2, Furious Daddy and Novelicious, over on the south side. They'll have to make their entry in, and there is a line being covered here from actually 2 defenders. Shadow Warrior and Thrywin have an angle here on this south entry.
Killed one south.
Malicious goes down, and
Confirmed.
now Furious Daddy just going to have to prone and push their way into a 5-strong Vikings defense as they've completely shut down Dead Logic's initial offensive rollout. A rough start for DL, but exactly what Vikings wanted. As again, they chose into this defensive side instead of picking the map. Furious is going to challenge the corner with a bit of utility, but yeah, that's not going to be enough. And Furious, after throwing the flash, decides to not commit to pushing out from that south side. I think their best choice is to go up the catwalk and push down there. But we'll see what they do as they recognize that they are the last player alive. They checked their tablet there, which shows on it a small area of the map that you're on and also where your teammates are in relation to your position. It's the only semi-mini map that you have, and you have to physically pull it out from your back pocket to be able to check it. That tablet key, and also entering in the 7-digit code if you do want to cap. In case you didn't know. But Furious is going to go down this catwalk approach. It is unguarded, and I don't know if there's any utility or C4 placed up here. But they will be able to take control of the stairwell. It's then really a matter of coming out of the stairwell that becomes the problem. Shadow Warrior there and Embo here. They have 2 defenders watching the exits respectively, so it's just a matter of time for Furious to work down, but they have time. 2:20 left on the clock out of 6 minutes each round. They aren't being completely silent in their approach here, though, so I imagine that actually Shadow is hearing these footsteps above them.
Overpass.
Yeah, and I think that was the overpass call out, and now Furious, no longer too concerned about their audio, is going to continue to push down from this side, and Embo is there waiting. Managed to get past Embo, but can't quite tuck in. Vikings do not lose a single defender. Noctum scoops up 2, gets a little greedy, doesn't want to share the wealth with Thrywin there. But regardless, Vikings go out on top with a nice start on defense, 1-0. Especially on this objective, one that I think is probably maybe the 2nd or 3rd easiest to cap on this map out of like 5 or 6. So, you know, what does that really mean? But still, it does have the potential to be capped, and just a very strong denial of entry there. The really key element being that stairwell defense from Noctum. If they don't find the 2 there on the stairs, it's a very different story with control of this tunnel in the hands of Dead Logic, and that defense has to play the. It's just a very different story if Noctum doesn't find that double in the stairwell. I actually think I replayed. I did indeed. And Novius was looking to apply the pressure off of Noctum, who I think was radioing in that they had gotten a kill right there. But good on Noctum to be able to react accordingly. Find that second kill right away. And again, that shutdown, very important in the initial defensive start there for Vikings. We now swap sides. Every round we swap sides. Every 2 rounds the objective changes location. And so Dead Logic now get a chance at defending.
Alright guys. Let's hit it up.
We'll have to see how Vikings roll out on their offensive start here as we get back into it.
It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
For round
Even
number
I can
2.
remember, I think.
Oh, it's going to be a
I
full
wouldn't
underground
say that
press
that's
here
a
from
press.
Vikings. Everybody charging in down the basement, and Novius, if they peek out and challenge, could find themselves in a bit of a tough position, but doesn't seem to be that way. They do hear audio beneath them. Does give an indicator that there's players down in this basement. That information can be relayed accordingly.
Maybe 4.
Maybe or 5. Yeah, well, maybe.
I thought you were saying
A little banter back and forth there. These players can hear the radio comms if they're within a certain radius of each other. Just like they can hear footsteps. And Blackout able to duck the shots of Mantis as they
Yeah, can you just
tuck
pre-fire
back
door?
and... Oh no!
No, dude. You can't
Oh
walk
my
into me,
God.
though.
Embo crosses in front of the pre-fire.
Pre-fire on the left, fire on the right, on the right. Sorry, on your right.
Not exactly the best route, but they've now got themselves a little bit more of a plan. And this is why Blackout dropped off, because of the suppressive fire and grenade potential. As they now tuck in behind that red soda machine, they'll be able to pop out here as soon as Vikings feel a little bit overconfident. And there it is. Embo's ready and waiting on that corner, though. A good job of keeping an eye on several different locations. Novius catches one quickly and tries to get the confirm. More utility comes in, but that's just a flash, I believe. Shadow and Noctum are able to drop back and stay alive. Novius not able to get the kill they were looking for. Shadow off the flash does get some control of the stairs, but really was just checking it briefly. All about the timing here as Novius drops back and they just miss each other. Shadow's going to come pushing up, and Novius and Shadow trade there. Noctum now can pop out, and Dead Logic are slowly losing defenders. Snow is actually in a very interesting spot with a nice line down onto anybody that would push up. Furious Daddy is challenging Noctum here in the stairwell. They want control of this stairwell. They do not want to allow Vikings the freedom to push up here so close to the objective. It's really an important spot to hold, and interesting commitment from Furious to push up here and prevent Noctum from initially again gaining control of this train track tunnel. Nava and Mantis looking for a potential fight here as Mantis does find the shots onto Nava. A nice pickup there. But a 1-for-1, so things stay just slightly into the favor of Vikings, 3-2 overall. And ultimately, Dead Logic have the cover they need. Oh, and Furious. Not sure what they thought they heard to their left, but they got thrown off and Noctum able to swing and find an exposed defender there. Now Snow has to get closer to objective. Get a better coverage of this objective space, and that movement exposes them to Mantis. And this is an impressive start for Vikings. Dead Logic is a team that just in their last game, was it their most recent game too? I don't think it was their most recent game. Check. Yeah, their most recent game, they beat beginners, who historically have been the top team in the VRML, and they beat them 12-6. And now Vikings, who are technically 3 ranks lower than Dead Logic on the ladder, have a 2-0 lead. I love that we're tuning into this matchup this afternoon, because this is a great look forward into what we can expect, or maybe not expect, in the postseason tournament. These two teams are going to be competing again, likely against each other, in that postseason tournament. And for those not in the know, at the end of the season 12, which is, well, after today, we have a Challenger Cup. That's next weekend. The Challenger Cup is teams that are ranked 8th and below, all competing for an opportunity to become the 8th team to go into the postseason tournament. The top 7 teams worldwide get an instant entry into that postseason tournament. And so next weekend, we'll get a look at teams ranked 8th and below duking it out in tournament format. The following weekend, we have the start of the postseason, where these top 8 teams will begin to battle each other throughout the course of that weekend. And then the 25th and 26th, I believe, that weekend is the final postseason weekend, where we have and get to crown our season 12 champions, first, second, and third place. And those first, second, and third place teams will come out with a what is now 7,000 in cash and hardware prize pool that is contributed to by our sponsors. We'll talk more about the sponsors when we have ourselves another break, but we do really appreciate their support. And I am super hyped for this postseason. This game already getting me excited. Novelicious getting very aggressive. No, excuse me, Noctum getting aggressive up on the stairwell as Nava finds 1 kill. We do change objectives. As a reminder, we have swapped objective placements, but for this objective, it's very interesting that Vikings have committed to such an aggressive defense. It is the basement OBJ. So Nava finds 1 on the stairs right away. Thrywin is also here in the train. I think everybody else tucked down in the basement. But late angles are being held here, so Novius is going to be able to push up far enough to get a nice nade toss up beauty that denies Mantis the opportunity to shut down this push. A quick confirm, and just like that, Vikings are into a 3v5. Novelicious, if Thrywin rotates, will be able to deny that rotation. While this is happening,
Clear.
Dead Logic are getting comfortable and ready to push down the train tracks down towards objective. Comes the rotation from Thrywin. And Nava actually won't see it. Actually, they will see it go down the stairs, but they just barely miss it. If Thrywin rotates back up, they're at risk. Like Thrywin has committed to challenging this basement control here. Blackout's thrown, and they're going to find themselves a fight. They don't know where Blackout was, as they were prone against those rails, and they catch 1. Nice bit of shooting there. Good maneuver. Vikings down to 2.
Okay.
Nava could be a serious threat if they decide to push over to the other stairwell, where they could then challenge Embo and Shadow Warrior, who for now are still waiting for Dead Logic to push up closer to the objective. And there's a good smoke.
They smoked it.
South access.
Nava goes down south stairs. Embo seems to have identified that. Hopefully there's no team kills on that south stairwell, as Nava connects with the rest of the team here. Oh, Shadow detonates
Quick. Yeah, on my
a
way.
C4. And Novius able to push up and get the res. Nava pushes out from the south. Shadow finds a kill to kick things off. Tries to peek out to the edge and can't find that. Embo is going to come in for a flank. They're going to push down the south stairs here. Furious Daddy, Blackout, Furious go down. They can't get the swing and transfer on to Snow and Navi, but a nice attempt flank the quad pushing down. But regardless, Dead Logic take a MARSOC round and bounce back from a nice Vikings 2-0 start. Find themselves some kills, as they are also not really connecting with a bunch throughout those first 2 rounds. And, well, for now, the blowout is stalled. Vikings do go back into the action with an opportunity at attacking the objective, and if they can successfully capture it, they will get 2 points, which will end this first map. So technically, we are at map point next round. We'll have to see how Vikings play that out, of course. We mentioned earlier that we have sponsors that do support the league. Those sponsors include ProTube VR. If you don't know what ProTube VR is, it's a real-life stock that you can put your controllers in that connects to your shoulder and has a sling on it, and you can stabilize your aim in real life. That then translates to stabilized aim in game. It really enhances the ability to hit long-range shots, and so if you want to improve your sniping ability, I highly recommend you check out ProTube VR's stock options. There's a variety of them. In addition, they also have haptic feedback versions, so if you really want to actually get enhanced immersion and feel the recoil of your gun when you're shooting it, they have those out there as well, amongst the other variety of stock options. Again, I do recommend you check out their storefront. VR Cover, also supporting the VRML. VR Cover, they are face cushions for any of your VR headset devices. They greatly enhance the comfort of any VR device you have, and they are a must-buy for any VR headset that you pick up right away. It's the first thing you should get. I highly recommend VR Cover if you want enhanced comfort. And last but not least, HyperX, contributing in with the HyperX Quadcast S Cloud 2 wireless headphones, as well as Bluetooth earbuds that can connect wirelessly to your Quest or Quest 2. They've been a fantastic sponsor over the years, and I highly recommend their products. They have lasted me a long time, and, well, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. They do pretty dang good with a nice voice. So, shout out to HyperX. We really do appreciate their support, and I really do like the HyperX Quadcast S. It's an easy mic to recommend. Back into the action we go, though, for round number 4. Right now, we're watching a north rotation from Embo and Mantis. The rest of the team already gaining control of the initial subway floor. Seems to be that Dead Logic are stacked up in the basement and have several different items on deployed here. Number 1, a already lit Molotov that just hasn't been broken, and a C4. I imagine the C4 detonation will actually break the Molotov, so you'll kind of get a 1-2 punch there. Meanwhile, over on the south side,
pushing it, but I'll like outside.
Looks like Vikings and Dead Logic trade with one up top. Novius is going to try and pop up and look for the confirm, but that's a big risk to be taking now, especially with no real control up there. Meanwhile, over on the north, they're working down the stairs. And everybody on Vikings should be on, technically, the first floor soon enough. I guess maybe basement and sub-basement, I don't know. But either way, there is no effort to push in from the basement side yet. They can easily rotate down into the basement if they want to, but it seems that Vikings are positioning to challenge the stairwell options. And it'll be a matter of timing their entries down the stairs and getting past the defense that we are seeing set up here. I think there's also a C4 there on this south stair as well, and so Vikings very much going to be walking into a lot of utility. There's ways for Vikings to defuse this. Nades, utility tools, a variety, options, sort of guess on any potential C4 placement. And I imagine if they prioritize a stairwell entry, that they are going to be throwing some utility down these stairs to try and detonate the C4.
I didn't see anyone.
Yeah, there's one south of the south house.
Perez in the nook.
Just a patient waiting game here for Vikings. They're all clearing and setting up their positions up top, making sure that everything is copacetic. They will then be making their push down into the basement. Snow is still holding for basement entry, but that is not coming in just yet. Instead, it is going to be an initial deployment of smoke there. We're waiting for what, to see if there's any smoke over on the north side.
Okay.
In the south, Thrywan and Noctum have smoked the stairs. We'll be making their entry in with more smoke tosses here. No C4 deployment yet. Novius is waiting for that.
C4 taken out.
Oh, and they managed to get rid of the C4. Also, Novius is able to drop a nade. I thought I saw it come out. We didn't see the trail, but they did drop it in time. And now Shadow thinking about challenging, but Snow is here and waiting. Meanwhile, over on the south side, the C4 detonates, the Molotov burned, and now Mantis no longer pushing in from that side. Vikings are down to 3. Oh, and Shadow Warrior connects with 1. They're going to swing onto Furious. That's a nice double. Looking for the third. They can't find Blackout. Able to find that refrag. Mantis and Embo not here to support from the south. I wonder if maybe Embo went... I don't know what happened with the duo here, but they just never challenged the north stairs while the south team pushed in.
Rainbow 2.
So I guess we should do the attrition thing.
Okay.
Wait, do you want me to put a smoke down on north axis? I have time.
We've got 50 seconds.
I do.
Bit of discussion here on strategy. Mantis is going to swing around here, drop a smoke out towards Blackout. They'll then rotate back to this side and try and push in. Blackout's gonna find Mantis. Embo pushes up, and Vikings have themselves another round. 1 left alive, but it's all they need. Push them up 3-1. Dead Logic battling their best here, but not able to overcome that Vikings push in. A key res also bringing it into a 2v1, otherwise it would have been Dead Logic taking that round, and so... Actually, you know what, I don't think it was res, I just don't think the duo pushed in from the north. Again, I'm not sure exactly what happened up there up top, but regardless, that delay ends up paying off, and the duo wins the round for Vikings. And now Dead Logic go on the attack to a new objective. We're heading up to the upper level of Subway, no longer down hanging out with the trains. Instead, we'll be heading up to the market. And I think Dead Logic definitely have a bit of a tall order ahead of them. I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know. This objective certainly gets chaotic, especially in these streets and the alleyways up top. I think we can anticipate some early action, a lot of utility usage coming in. You're going to want to keep an eye on the C4 placements. Those will be key in deterring advancement up through these alleyways. But there are a variety of options in defending this space. And so we'll have to see how a Dead Logic attack and how Vikings try and lock in a map 1 here.
Shit, it's freaking out. What the fuck?
As we go back
You all right?
into it for round 5.
Right, what the fuck? There we go. It fixed itself. I just had to stop recording.
are seeing some aggressive fire here, some suppressive fire here. There is no real initial push up from Vikings. They are going to wait for Dead Logic to come to them there with that south position. Mantis did extend forward, I suppose, to the stairs. Ryman holding an interesting spot here, a very small slice. I do like the Vikings' positions, a bit off the standard defensive spots, and they are getting a little bit more ground with, I would say, better cover than some of those other defensive spots. Ryman is still holding that tight angle. Ooh, a nice nade toss from Novius, actually, from the backside, finds Noctum, and now Thrywin has to drop off of the good angle they had and be protective of Novius. Mantis still holding the stairs here.
Hold the alleyway outside the overpass. Let me know when you're pushing 6.
A good flash is really all they need on this corner.
Alright, wait for
Thrywin goes down, trying to swing onto Novelicious. Blackout was there as well. Mantis able to shut down Snow, pushing the corner. Mantis actually going to apply the pressure here, push up and tuck in to this corner, and I wonder if Furious will be aware that they've done that. Or if Mantis is aware that Furious is in this corner. They don't have that angle. Still, though, we also have to watch, again, the entry.
one mid.
Onto objective as utility comes in. Dead Logic are looking for the attack opportunity here. Maybe even the cap opportunity. As that nade comes in, Embo tries to tuck in. They swing to find another. A big double. Can they find the third as Novius is there? No, they can't. On the other side, a trade. It leaves us to focus on the duo of Dead Logic here. And now the duo of Vikings. Shadow Warrior and Mantis reconnect. Mantis going to reinforce and cover this entryway. Looks like the duo is sticking together here for now. Mantis tries to cross. That doesn't work. Navi's launching the back. And Novius flies to get a double.
Ooh.
A very solid bit of work there from Novius. Playing patiently, catches Mantis. They had that backside covered as well, and Novius feels confident enough to swing. If Novius doesn't find that kill, it very well could have been map point for Vikings there, and we are on to map 2. But instead, Dead Logic snag a Marsoc round, and now get an opportunity to defend this objective. You know, one thing is interesting. It's very rare that you do see such a commitment into that north entryway. A lot of teams often invest a lot more resources in the south alley. I'm getting that right on my... No, this is... No, sorry. This is west on the map. When you come up from the basement, that's popping out of the west side of the map. And it's, you know, it's challenging to pop out of that basement. That nade kill really kicked it off, allowing exit from the basement for Dead Logic, and from there they just managed to pick apart the other I think only one other defender there. I think it was Thrywin. So with 2 down, they then had 4 available to enter right onto the objective side. They had utility, and they forced some rotations, ultimately finding the kills they needed. It's what you would expect, you know. I really did not anticipate, and I don't even think really I guess we can take a look. This is what the people thinking on who is going to come out on top here this afternoon. Evenly split.
I mean, why would they?
Almost a dead even split in favor of Vikings.
It is a glitch.
Actually,
It is?
are the votes.
Yeah.
But, well, either way, a great series to tune into this afternoon. Happy we could broadcast it out to you fine folk on Twitch, Meta, YouTube, and venues. Big shout out to all you folks stopping by and hanging out. And a reminder that I think we also have another game live on Twitch over at Onward_VRML3. You do want to catch action in between the breaks. encourage you to pull up those multi-streams. We're going to pop over to Thrywin, who now on the Vikings is pushing up from their spawn, and
Or might not be disabled unless it doesn't exist.
we'll see what the focus is from Vikings. So far, it seems their intention to be entry from this side. And the reason that so many teams favor entry from this side is because the corner is right here at objective. You're able to get so close to the OBJ if you get control of this alley. You're not close enough to cap on the corner, but still,
Watch
it
out
just
for the
puts you
north
very
knockers. They
close.
might, like, run in there and shoot you.
Oh, a good flash down onto Snow. Flash coming in. And tosses here onto the
They
corner.
grenaded the bin area. I'm there.
Another nade coming in. This time a flash on top. Doesn't catch anyone. Thrywin and Empo still pretty far back. And maybe they thought that the Vikings had pushed up a bit farther than they had. Either way, the duo unaffected by that nade, and now a 5-4 advantage and full control of this alleyway. Looks like Dead Logic are going to give it to them.
Bad smoke. Bad smoke.
Can be risky if this smoke can be relocated and effectively placed.
Shit. Stay one more.
A lot of counter utility coming in.
Bruh. Game broke. Yeah, it's
Most
dead.
of them over here.
C4 detonated. And so they do not have truly a strong hold on this north side. The key element in this defense is Navi's position underneath the table holding the corner. Does start things off nicely. Thrywin's still resable. They need to get that confirm, and they do just in time. A trade there onto the corner. Cuts Vikings down to just 3. Ultimately a net positive as Dead Logic able to even the player count here to a 3-3. Still, though, Furious holding in from that south side. Smart to be doing, I suppose. Vikings very well could invest in a redirect here and push in from that side. Once Navi, if Navi goes down, though, they certainly are going to want that defender to rotate back. And as I do say that they could split off, you do see Shadow committing to a rotation here. They could easily run right into Furious.
I'm going from the other side, guys. Give me a second.
What they did there is dropped back to the corner to communicate, just in case there's anyone close, but they could avoid detection on their radio. But we'll have to keep the attention split as Vikings set up for a entry from both sides. The waiting game with 2:13 on the clock. Plenty of time truly for Vikings to assess the situation. Ooh, and this is an interesting shift. They may actually stack heavily this entry point. Furious should hear these footsteps as they are holding from this back corner. I wonder what happens if Shadow does not find Furious. If Noctum and Mantis will then shift off. Either way, that entry that Navi is watching is no longer there. Really going to come down to Furious holding in from the dumpster here. When Shadow does check the corner, the one side they don't check, though, is this backside. At this stage in the round, they just are not expecting one to be here. And if Furious can wait patiently, they can catch 2 or 3 out here. There goes one. Shadow turns. There's another. No. Mantis and Shadow able to fly out and find the kill. 45 seconds left, and now Vikings are going to have to move. That flash goes too far, and Blackout fortunately doesn't push off of it. If anything, the flash was to buy
Go for
time,
all
because
bypass,
now
hold
time,
bypass, yeah.
an important
Push in,
element
push in.
for this Vikings team.
Let's push in together.
Shadow trying to connect there onto Navi on that other side. Navi now holding a bit of a later angle. And Blackout finds one. Shadow goes down to the swing from Blackout.
Very good. Very good.
A good bit of shooting there from Dead Logic. A nice patient hold. And it ties things up 3 apiece. Last replay was, yeah, the near shutdown from Furious. As soon as they catch Noctum. But a good double strike there for one to take the short angle and one to be in the long. It really makes it hard as a shooter who is surprised by that to quickly identify your target and connect. And so a nice job from Vikings to get control of that side. But then again, the patient hold pays off, and Dead Logic takes this thing 3-3. You have played the maximum amount of rounds in a map, and we are now down to our final one. No matter what, we will be crowning a winner of at least map number 1 here after this round. Objective placement, pretty kinda, I would say a little bit crazy. South stairs. You really do get a variety of matchups and plays here on the south stairs, and so it'll be interesting, at the very least, to see and it depends so much on the spawn as well. If they get a quick spawn, do they play it aggressively? Do they break off and try and surround? You know, what is the Dead Logic game plan? And on the other side, does Vikings throw out counter aggression? Do they push up? Do they... There's so many different ways to really play this OBJ, and I would imagine Vikings
Love you, mommy Embo.
are going to be looking for kills, but we'll have to see. Back into the action we go for round number 7 of map 1.
Yeah, no, it's young mum.
Oh, no, it's my sainted mother. Don't you dare speak any mean words on her.
Fortunately, Dead Logic doesn't get the quick spawn for Viking. Means that they won't run into any fighting here right away, but they still are throwing utility out just in case. And it's a lot of utility. They're going to be able to confirm that there is nobody pushing from this side. And after that, it's all a matter of now readjusting and getting back into defensive positions to hold the attack, because I wonder where they're going to be coming in from. Shadow Warrior actually pushing up into aggressive position. They're going to hear Snow on the other side. They're going to radio click to Embo that someone's here, and Embo is going to push up and now hold, preventing Snow from pushing in.
-1 Rainbow 4.
Really nice bit of communication, quick and accurate, nets themselves an early kill. Mantis on the other side of things has to defend against Furious and Novius, who have made their exit out of the basement stairs. In addition, Thrywin holding a deep angle. Dead Logic have a few important kills to find here before they can work their way out. That smoke actually going to deny Thrywin pretty nicely. Mantis can still see. That's a good flash toss right into the heart of this offense attack. Everybody tucks in, and they're able to get to Novius before the flash wears off. Furious now pops up and is aware
-1 West Axis.
of the threat, especially after they hear that. Mantis pops out to catch another.
Minus another one West Axis.
Now all comes down to Noctum holding against Navi.
-1.
Forgot about Blackout, so I suppose there still was one left, but now it is all up to Navi in a 1v5. They're going to try and take control of the south side, and after giving away their position, trying to fire onto Noctum. I imagine the entire Vikings team will come down here looking for this kill. But that could be a risk in itself, as Navi actually does have the line now onto the stairs. They're not going to hold it too long, and they're going to drop off. Certainly a tough round for Dead Logic here. Their basement exit did not pay off. Not even able to find any trades. It really does set up Navi for a tough bit of comeback here. Navi seeing the P90 on the ground, disappointed in the weapon of choice. I imagine that's what they're shaking their head at, but either way, they'll continue their move up. Maybe they were disappointed in the death. I don't know, but it looked to me like they saw the P90 and were. Who knows? Who knows? The reason I say that is there is a somewhat decided upon gun meta in the game. You do see a variety come in from time to time. An AS Val will come out, or a P90 like that will come out. Mostly Scars and AKs, though. You do see actually the new MPX get utilized as well. I would say, if anything, more variety in gun choice than there ever has been. But the P90, I don't think is the G. It's not. Yeah, it's not the standard preferred choice of gun there. And Thrywin gonna find that kill in a trade for Vikings to lock in the map. Ultimately, deciding the side pays off for them. Dead Logic now go into map choice or side choice. It is their pick. But if they go to map pick, take a look at the stats for the team in terms of where we could be headed for map number 2. Suburbia, certainly an option, but of course you have to consider how Vikings have played Suburbia throughout this season as well, and it's not that bad. 4-3, I believe, in comparison to Dead Logic's 4-3, and so taking a bit of a risk picking into that, but still at this stage with these teams, that any map you pick into really is a risk. Both of these teams very capable of playing well on really any map that you end up going to. So the stats, sometimes not the greatest thing to utilize. Could be maybe plans that you have or plays that you've orchestrated that you think could surprise your opponent. You know, there's really a variety of factors that end up going into deciding the map pick or side. But we do now wait for Dead Logic's decision. Until then, quick shout out again to everybody that is stopping by and hanging out this afternoon, whether you are on Twitch, Meta, YouTube, or Horizon venues. We really do appreciate the support and the overall enjoyment of the VRML. If you do want to get involved and potentially join the VR Master League, you're a touch late for Onward. Season 15 ends today. But now's a great time to get ready and prepped for season 15. Wow, season 12. Great time to get ready for season 13. Starting now, you can start to practice. Plenty of teams are recruiting and getting ready for 13 already as well. And so I would recommend joining the VRML Onward Discord. You can find a link to that over at vrml.com/onward. All the links to the Discord, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, anything you could want, you can find the links to on the webpage. You may also notice that there's a variety of leagues the VRML hosts, and you may notice that Echo Arena will be here later tonight. I think roughly 6 p.m. PST. The start time there for Echo Arena's Venues Showcase, also on twitch.tv/VR Master League. So if you want to follow this channel, you can. I also would recommend checking it out on Venues, though. Horizon Venues is an app that you can download on your Quest or Quest 2 for free, and you can watch these games in a giant movie theater-like screen with a bunch of other people in VR. It's a really cool way to enjoy the action. Emotes, avatars, all that good stuff in there. And so do check out Horizon Venues if you are interested in watching some of this VRML action. Just in a little bit of a different venue. Either way, Vikings with a good start against arguably the... well, not arguably, the higher-ranked opponent. A team that, again, just beat beginners yesterday. Or not yesterday, but earlier in their most recent game. That team being Dead Logic. So for Vikings to take a map and now look to take the series, it is an impressive start for the series overall. Especially off of an unorthodox side pick. Interesting to see. Dead Logic have picked map 2. We are headed to Bazaar. I'm not seeing any substitutes on either side. I believe both of these teams have 8 players in their roster. Obviously, you can only have 5 active at a time in a map, but it is important to have those extras in case you need them for technical difficulties or specific maps. Some players excel on certain maps, and it's good to have that sub to dip into. But not something we're seeing here this afternoon. I'm curious now if we are in a potential timeout or if the teams are just taking their time between the map to grab some water, get ready for the action. It doesn't seem like we're in a timeout because we are getting into it for map number 2. Round number 1 kicking off on the tank objective.
They're really fast. South speed.
Dead Logic prepared for what could be an aggressive Vikings rollout. That certainly is the case as Mantis sets up early
They're fixed one.
to challenge. That gets identified quickly by Novius, and now it is a matter of defending what could be a very quick push from Vikings. You already see smokes come out there from Thrywin. Another smoke coming out. That one, not exactly where they wanted it. The second toss, also not exactly where they wanted it. They do stay tucked in, though, and Snow actually catches the first kill. Off of that kill, Novius supplies a bit more aggression. They're actually going to try and nade. What a great toss. They catch Thrywin with a nade up over the top. Embo looks for the kill on the Novius and can't find it. If they get over aggressive, they could expose themselves to a different angle. A very good bit of work here on Dead Logic on defense to shut down Vikings and early. Embo could be vulnerable to a C4 toss soon here. And they are. A smoke actually helping keep Novius from being identified by Embo, and Vikings get absolutely cut apart. Now Noctum alone in a 1v4 as they do manage to find
Rainbow?
a kill.
Oh shit. I'm coming for you.
Noctum realizes the situation they're in. Novius not going to allow that res to come through. And now Noctum is alone with no more comms from any of their teammates. They are using the new gun, I should say. Well, the newest gun into the game of Onward. I want to say it's the I want to say MCX, but I am blanking on if that abbreviation's accurate. We'll know if Noctum finds a kill here on Navi. Don't. Just downs him, does not secure the full kill. But a good down nonetheless. Blackout is rotating for the res, though. This could cost Blackout if they're not careful. I'm sure Navi is seeing and identifying and calling out this location, though. Blackout does manage to get across. The confirm comes in, and that was right. It's the MCX. Oh, he is on the backside. Catches another kill. How many was that for them? 3-0 on the start of the round to kick things off for Dead Logic. Well, for Novius on Dead Logic, but 1 point works as well. They take the lead on their map pick. I do believe that disconnect came in after they were down, so we are waiting now for a fifth to connect in onto the Vikings side. I do wonder if they maybe will substitute someone in here, or if Rywin will be back on there after a quick restart, hopefully. Either way, a bit of downtime for both teams to strategize, work out any sort of plan on the offense here. They've got that early 1-0 start, so I do wonder if we may see, well, I think we could see a pretty aggressive rollout if they get that quick spawn, aka the north spawn. For those that maybe aren't in the know, the Marsoc attacking team does not know where they will spawn in exactly. There are multiple set spawn points per each objective. And so what Dead Logic does know is where they could spawn in, but they don't know where. And that goes the same way for Vikings. Vikings know where all the potential spawn points are for Dead Logic, but they don't know where it is. And so the start of a round is really, in a lot of cases, the defensive team trying to identify a spawn point, so that from there they can set up accordingly and try and defend from the attack. And so we saw it last round. Right away they identify the north spawn to the rest of the team, and that does impact how then that defense plays. We'll have to see kind of spawn Dead Logic get on the attack, though, and how Vikings initially roll out on defense. I think everybody does look for that north spawn cross early. So it will come down to a matter of utility, and if that's going to be the case, then you're kind of giving away your play. It won't be the case, however, as Dead Logic's going to spawn a bit farther away.
Okay.
And it will be a bit of time before they get themselves up to the objective as we get back to it for round 2.
I prefer the other spawn, but...
What? Yeah,
No.
same.
I'm wondering if they will send a flanker or not, like I did.
Probably.
They probably will.
Bit of early discussion on where potential defense could be, talking about a potential flanker who is actually en route now. Knocked pushing out to catch anybody on this lane here. They actually won't identify any of Dead Logic. I feel that Dead Logic actually rotated up to avoid that line of sight from a flanker.
I don't see anyone in the north yet.
So be careful.
And they have really just worked past
Yeah, the
one of the
north
defenders for Vikings. Knocked
Yeah, I'm on my tippy toes watching South Street.
not going to identify anyone here. Mantis catching some heat up through the center. And if Noctum rotates, they really could have a good impact here. They still haven't. They're still watching this side. No one really watching their flank. So maybe Noctum could rotate all the way around to the back side on the south street here. This could lead to a couple of kills. Noctum actually doesn't see Snow against the ice cream truck. You can see when we turn off the lasers, it's very hard to identify them. They only see them once they rotate and then take shots. And I wonder if anybody heard the silent shots from behind them. I don't see any lasers get redirected here.
Outside of my position.
They are so close to objective that it feels like they are very focused up on this objective front. Crouched down behind cover as well. Noctum actually can't find an angle. Wow, and what a... It's so close to being bad news for Dead Logic here. They are in between the defense now with Noctum pinching. Finally, Noctum pushes out, finds the kill. A quick refrag, though, does shut down the flank. Very important kill, again, considering the location of this offense. Novius has worked up very close to the objective here. Has identified Shadow Warrior, tossing out nades, trying to flash them. I don't think those flashes are getting close enough. Navi finds one in blue room, and now Shadow has to worry about an entry from that side as smokes start to come in. Dead Logic applying pressure on objective. It's up to just Shadow Warrior and Embo to hold it. Embo catches one.
Killed courtyard.
Gonna keep pushing up, and now Novius looking for kills. Navi goes down. Novius does not connect onto Shadow, and Vikings retake objective space just barely. Tie things up, one apiece here. That could have been bad news. Dead Logic really had a lot more control than I think they knew. Could have been a cap there as well if Novius had potentially pushed up off of the initial kill, but still. A good retake from Vikings. And if Noctum hadn't flanked, it could have been a very different story. Could we at least find one or two kills there? That attack was so close, so early. It's just, they're really fortunate that they don't end up having a cap get locked in there and Dead Logic go up 3-0. Either way, we tie things up here and we change objective positions. Next OBJ going to be in the alley on the corner. Pretty tough one to defend. I'll tell you that much. But it also depends on how you set up. You know, if you look for that early aggression or if you stay patient, allow them to to have to cross to you. If you play too patient, though, you can become vulnerable to a well-placed utility smoke. If you're getting denied vision, and so again, there's a constant bit of rock, paper, scissors, and risk-reward analysis going on with these teams to decide how they want to attack and move forward. Back into it we go, though. Round number... What is this? Nah, 3. Blackout wiping the sweat off of their brow in real life there. They get ready for their next assault. Go on setting up into some early defensive positions.
Did you kill him?
No, fuck me.
Navi catching a couple of bullets and
Yeah, he was looking into window.
Noctum not able to get rid of what is an aggressive defensive push up here. Mantis goes down, and a quick kill from Thrywin evens the odds 1-1. So overall 4v4 with 5 left on the clock. Noctum taking early control of this corner space. A nice spot to be able to toss utility out onto the objective side. Oh, and the nade toss
I killed one near OBJ.
right at Noctum, but not far enough. The exposure on the corner ends up costing them their life.
Oh. I hope he's confirmed he's dancing there.
Only 3 left for Dead Logic. And for maybe those confused, when a down bot, we again don't see necessarily what the player sees 1-to-1 perfectly. It's pretty close, but sometimes with ragdolls in particular, the body can do something different than what we see, and so I think they're seeing that body actually spinning. Noctum no ahead of the rest of the squad. Careful not to put out any team kills, as Thrywin and Shadow are going to be taking control of that space soon. Embo on the other side of things, working their way up on that west corner. Furious is tucked in and waiting. Noctum does find Blackout.
I killed one.
But I don't know how much ammo they have left. They may be down to their last mag. They've taken a lot of shots this round. But either way, those shots have been worth it, as Dead Logic now is down to just 2. It seems to be aware of Embo's position. That nade did not go far enough. They drop back off of the toss and are able to avoid detection.
No line of sight, returning to objective.
Embo does get identified there, but Furious can't connect. Smokes come in now, and Shadow putting rounds through the windows catches one. Snow trying to deny entry is otherwise the only defender left. They are making sure that in the smoke, nobody is capping. They're actually challenging now, getting very aggressive.
He's outside of...
Catches Shadow Warrior out, turns around, looks for more. The cap is certainly coming in, and Vikings punch it in. Embo pushes from the backside under the chaos. And what discipline from Noctum to not take those shots as they watch them push out. I don't know if they were aware they were the last one alive, but while they were rotating, the cap comes in behind them. Vikings take a 3-1 lead and are now a point away from snagging the series away from Dead Logic. An interesting choice, one that I almost felt could have worked, but really good awareness to not take those shots. Just looking at that again, just where we could be going for map number 3. We still will play the third map out, even if Vikings get the W here. But I wonder if Vikings will pick a map or not. Oh, interesting note here. Dead Logic have actually never beat Vikings. They've played them in season 9, 11, and 12, and every time...
Yeah. What did you say, Mac? Can you repeat? Yeah, okay.
Well, they did win off of a forfeit, I guess. But when they've played Vikings, they have not won. And so, I guess the trend on track here to continue. If Vikings can lock in, what is this final map? Final point, excuse me, of round... Wow, jeez. The final round of map number 2. It could be. Dead Logic obviously still have a bit of ways to come back here. See what their assault looks like, but either way, they are right here looking for the kills. Noctum finds one. There's 2 more. They try and swing to get those, but cannot. Good denial of aggression there. It evens things 4-4. Rest of Vikings in pretty standard defensive positions, but Dead Logic playing this one quick. Already in a position to throw nades onto the objective and potentially challenge on the crosshair. Mantis has a line, but they're going to smoke the street. No pre-fire comes in, so another smoke is shot. And the street is fully covered. Novi is able to get across. Thrywin catches 1. More smoke coming in, but I don't think Blackout got that far enough to deny vision onto Thrywin there. Oh, but while Novius pushes in from the back, Blackout does find the kill. Now they have control of Blue Room. It's up to Shadow Warrior and Embo alone in a 2v3. Not too outlandish, but still not really any control of objective either. There's an easy opportunity for a cap as Embo comes crashing back to prevent this. If Embo wasn't here, really nobody is on objective defending it. Embo takes those shots. Novius tries to work up. Embo goes down, and now's the time for the cap. Shadow Warrior comes crashing back. They're on the hunt for Blackout, but oh no! Navi finds the kill, and what could have been a tie game is still a close one, as Dead Logic take a point, but the kill prevents the cap. Got 3.5 minutes left. Incredibly unfortunate for the Dead Logic team, because again, they could be looking at a 3-3 map deciding point here, but they will have to now defend and then successfully attack in order to get the W. Vikings have 2 more chances than technically at taking this map. We swap OBJs and sides. Dead Logic go back onto that defense. So we'll have to see what Vikings end up putting together here for round 5. Quick look at the KDs as we do wait for a 5th to reconnect for Vikings. I believe it's Thrywin. Noctum 7-3. Definitely a standout shooter here on Bazaar for the Vikings squad. 5-3 respectively for Novius and Navi. So really both teams connecting with their shots, and even though Dead Logic are down a round, it is an indicator that they're right into this series with how many kills they do have on that KD feed. And so again, it's what you'd expect. A close battle between these 2 teams that are very close in rank. They have a history between each other on top of that, and so no easy rounds is the real moral of the story there. And again, we are just waiting for that 5th to reconnect. Otherwise, I think technically they have to use one of their timeouts. believe each team allocated 2 timeouts a series. And they get respectively shorter as you use them, and so I don't know if that's what we're seeing. But we have another drop there on the Vikings side, and so I imagine we're into a small technical pause as Vikings make sure everybody can connect and is feeling good. And as I say that, everybody is in lobby now, so we should be jumping into round number 6 soon enough. While we wait, a shout out to our merch sponsors. Arma, recently putting out some very sick new merch that I will want to be getting my hands on to promote during the upcoming Challenger Cup and postseason events. I would recommend you check it out, though, over at arma.gg. Also, check out VRWare, our other merch sponsor. They provide a variety of products ranging from stuff like water bottles to hoodies, and all with that VRML branding. Picking up those products does ultimately support both the company and VRML, and so we do encourage you to check out the merch. I also do think it's pretty cool. So we do appreciate the support there. And also, as a reminder, follow all of the social medias so that you can be alerted of live games of your favorite VRML league. Whether it's Onward _VRML, Echo Arena _VRML, or just VR Master League on Twitter. I recommend that you follow it all. Pavlov _VRML also has a Twitter. And you'll be notified when games go live, when events are happening, when things go on sale. We really are doing a great job of trying to get the word out on social media. So follow it. Right back into the action we go, though, as the brief pause has allowed Vikings to strategically get ready for an assault, which is an all-out assault. Full smokes apply. The quick spawn here as Vikings come charging in with 3 alive. Snow finds 1. Mantis is there. A trade as Novius drops off. Mantis finds another. Navi-licious rotating around in the smoke, while Embo caps means that Vikings could come up 5-2. And lock in themselves a W on the series. A great play to put out with a fast spawn, to commit to it right off of a timeout like that. Really caught Dead Logic out by surprise, and the chaos ensues, ultimately netting the maximum amount of points in a map, 5 points for Vikings. We now go to their map pick. Take a bit of a stretch break. Everybody, stretch it out. Comes out, especially if you're doing some VR. Got to stay loose. Stretching is vital. I don't talk about it enough. The VRML. Everybody should be stretching before a game, okay? You don't want any pulled hamstrings or blown out backs while you enjoy your favorite shooter. Because, frankly, it's quite physical. A lot of you see all these players crouching. They're crouching in real life. You see them lying on the ground. They're on their ground in real life. It is a VR game that it really does get you sweating when you play it. A lot like the other VR esports do. I mean, maybe not as much as Echo Arena. That game very physical in comparison, but still a physical way to game nonetheless, and it is always important to be stretched and warmed up. So, pro tip: stretch if you're going to jump into VR. We are waiting for a 5th to connect on Dead Logic. I imagine it will be a substitute. Once we have that 5th, we will then go into Dead Logic's map pick. No, excuse me, Vikings. Map 3. We cannot go to cargo or downfall. And so instead, we go to Snowpeak. Map number 3. A bit different from Subway and Bazaar in that there is far more range here on Snowpeak. So the option for sniping certainly prevalent here. Dead Logic will go on the attack, so it is, again, Vikings choosing side. Interesting stuff. It worked out for them on their first map. Even better for them on their second, so I guess stick to the trend of starting on defense. That means that Dead Logic chose this map. But, like I said, the series is locked in. For those that are tuning in and maybe aren't familiar with the format, Vikings have indeed confirmed themselves as the winner of this series, but we always play the third map out because the amount of rounds won matters. If, for example, Vikings lose this next map, Dead Logic will go down in rank less. At this stage, the only reason that rank adjustments matters for either of these teams is seeding, in determining what group they will be placed in for the postseason tournament. But other than that, the winning and losing, not a big impact here for either of these teams this afternoon. Because, again, they are already locked into the top 7 before they even played this game. They were, whether they won or lost, going to be moving on to the postseason. So I'm sure Vikings are happy that they managed to take a W here from Dead Logic, and, you know, going into postseason, this can be used for psychological purposes, but also to review the footage, see how they beat this team, and try and replicate that success going into the postseason tournament. Either way, we're into map 3. Snowpeak kicking off with round 1. We'll see how Dead Logic attack. We go into the action.
Yeah, they're gonna shoot us down that way. Watch
Knocked them here and looking for any shots on the corner. They're going to find themselves
North, they are north.
a bit of action. They get the call out that the spawn is north, and they're going to actually rotate around, cover a different angle. Maybe they'll be able to catch Table 14, who has been subbed in on the Dead Logic side. I'm going to redirect the smoke. Mantis gets the revive on Shadow back. And Dead Logic, I wouldn't say are trapped, but their spawn point's certainly known. Furious nearly dies there, crossing that line of sight from Noctum. Nice bit of flash and a check, but Noctum tucked in, so avoids that. Noctum, I was going to say the only one that's put forward, but that certainly isn't true. Embo on a bit of a flank, catches one, but then goes down.
He's dead.
There is another there. Oh no, Embo is just down.
Oh, nice, like.
So they can radio in information. There's the confirm from Novius.
He's dead as well. I don't have a foregrip.
He's behind the Hesco's down the ramp from warehouse.
Now it's a matter of pushing into this defense. Knocked him there, catches 14. Novius now aware of that position, going to potentially challenge it with some utility. Almost far enough, but not quite. Brywin on a big flank here, looking to get rid of Novius on the corner. They find one. And now Snow trying to fight knock them. They go down, and Vikings take a lead. Knocked them getting aggressive there with the double. Nicely denying Vikings the opportunity to push out of their spawn, really. Or, excuse me, Dead Logic push out of their spawn. And for those that are just tuning in, this has been quite a brawl. Truly, as we went down to a round 7 on map 1, and we were tied up. Well, we were close, 3-2 on Bazaar. This has been a great back and forth, but we are now into map number 3, and I especially now, the Dead Logic can really, both teams can kind of play however they want. Like I said, winning and losing here will only impact potentially their seeding. Even then, it might not. And that means that, these teams are comfortable that they're going to be top 7, and maybe we'll see some unorthodox plays. I wouldn't really consider anything so far too crazy. Noctum getting aggressive isn't really out of the ordinary. If anything, it's something that Vikings have been deploying throughout the course of this series, where Noctum has been that forward aggressor on both defense and offense. They are sort of that. They've been finding most of the kills first in the rounds, and so very clearly a strategy that has been working for Vikings, and Dead Logic not able to battle back that aggression just yet. We'll have to see what they do on defense as we go back into it. Map number 3, round number 2.
I surrender.
Either way, it seems Dead Logic not too shaken up by the loss. As I mentioned before, they haven't really lost much here, other than a good game. And so we'll get to see how they play out on this defensive rotation now, with Vikings spawning in down in the south.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. There is one behind the left hand.
Mantis tries to get the nade out to 14, instead takes the shots. Meanwhile, Blackout gets trapped inside and shot through the penetrable metal wall there. Dead Logic seemingly trying a couple of new aggressive defensive positions that aren't paying off, as they're now down to just 3.
So,
Yes.
The remaining 3 still around objective. So it will be a bit of a challenge to work in here for the likes of Vikings, but I imagine that they'll be on the hunt for a kill here. Especially if Mantis can get close enough.
Northwest.
Is it there?
I think he's north horseshoe right now. That's the way he looked like he was going. Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, I just saw movement.
Ooh, Novius does get Embo, who was pushing up to objective. Shadow Warrior able to find the refrag onto Novius. Knocked him pushing Snow now, who has to defend the OBJ, and Furious is coming crashing back as Snow goes down. Furious takes shots from the hilltop, and Vikings find that kill. Shadow Warrior connecting, and now a 2-0 lead. No real waiting around this time. We're seeing a very different pace, to say the least, as, again, the series has been locked in. These teams a little less concerned about taking their time. Maybe it is the objective itself as well. That objective in particular tough to defend, but I think we're going to stay on track with this pace with this next OBJ inside what has been dubbed, from me at least, the box of death. The action very rarely happens outside of this space, either directly outside the edge of the box or inside the box where the objective sits in the middle. 4 different entry points to make their way through, 4 entry points to defend, and that is that. You can hold those doorways, nobody can cap. And so that's oftentimes the defensive strategy you see. Sometimes you'll see aggression on defense, though, pay off, and so maybe we will get that on display here, especially with how these teams have been playing. Suppose we'll see as we get to it. Map number 3. Round number 3.
I will be covering
Northwest
Right,
entrance
lads,
and not
listen,
looking
lads,
down
we are
the
huddling
slope.
down for the winter. Get your fat reserves ready. Get your nuts.
Oh wait, that's not the door I thought it was.
No. Oh my.
I'm watching Northwest and entrance.
I like the comms there. Tuck in, huddle down. Exactly what you do on this objective, and it works out most of the time. Not to see how Dead Logic attack the OBJ. See what their pace looks like here. Obvious, just barely avoiding this peak from Mantis over the top of the snow. You can hear Vikings already talking about the postseason, the round robin, which is the weekend after the Challenger Cup next weekend.
We'll find the solution.
Embo finds Snow. Vikings start off strong and shutting down the only element that won't be pushing in from the outside. Another knockdown finds that corner to catch that kill. Dead Logic are down to 2. I think Novius must have been blind on that kill. All up to Furious and Novius, pushing in from this doorway. Shadow sits and holds.
Okay, we might need to report this.
Whoa.
Also, my C4 isn't working.
I've never seen this bug.
Similar problem. My grenade isn't working either.
And we have 86 minutes on the clock.
What the fuck?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, please don't take that long.
Good bit of banter here. I've never seen this happen before. Where the clock has bugged like that and utility suddenly doesn't work. Well,
It is.
a strange one, to say the least. Dead Logic is not going to take 86 minutes to work their way in. But the smokes are here. And they are going to use those smokes. Not quite make their entry yet. More utility getting thrown inside. As Novius works around to the other door. Furious does get inside. Novius goes down. Furious able to catch one, looking for another into Shadow. They are getting flanked by Embo. And Embo not able to get there in time.
What the fuck?
Vikings get the W.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know what has happened to this lobby, but they also don't get attributed the point for their win. Anyway, scoreline is 3-0. We can update that in game. And so we can continue on. But hopefully the round timer resets when we go back in. And we don't have an 86-minute long clock. Doesn't seem like we're remaking, so I guess we can take a look at the KDs. Novius finding 2 there, but otherwise nobody else connecting on Dead Logic and Vikings. Just a round away from locking in map 3 4-0. Very strange stuff. And, well, sometimes bugs happen. You play through them, and, well, a little comedy ensues. And so I think we should be okay. And if there is any technical pauses, I'll let you guys know. But oh, it didn't swap sides either. Interesting. Okay. Strange. Very strange stuff happening here. But again, I think we're going to try and solve the tech issue here. So, bear with us as we do a bit of a restart here. I think what they're going to do is do a little bit of team killing here.
This time. Yeah.
That'll give them a point. That should then swap sides accordingly. And it does, and we go on to our next round. So, thank you for bearing with us as we solve the technical issue of the round, but we will be getting back into it for what could be round number 4, the final round of this map, if Vikings can lock in a Marsoc W. It is not easy, and Dead Logic, again, all they have to do is defend the 4 entry points. But if a coordinated assault comes through, that can be a difficult challenge. And again, while we do have some more time, a quick shout out to our sponsors. You've seen them ticking across the screen that way, just over there. They are ProTube VR, VR Cover, HyperX, and VRML. all contributing into that prize pool to help grow and expand the VR Master League. Really do appreciate the contribution from them, and I don't know, really, you know, we are certainly looking to add more sponsors in going forward, and we're looking into more ways of bringing in more sponsors. So keep the eyes peeled in future seasons. Maybe we'll have ways to get more regular folks into sponsoring the league, but just throwing out some early ideas that we'll want to be testing in the off season. Anywho, good to look forward to again that postseason, which is coming up in the coming weekends. Next weekend, the Challenger Cup. The weekend after that, the start of the round robin, and then the semis and finals on the 25th and 26th. So keep your calendars open for that action. I think I've bought enough time, run through all of my ad reels here to get us into our next round.
Exactly, and that's going to be totally right down and everything.
No, working up here early to, I imagine, deploy a C4, but I don't see where. Rest of Vikings getting the far east spawn will be working their way as a team through the tunnels. The risk here of this advance is that Shadow Warrior, if there's any disconnect and Thrywin pushes out into this tunnel, could end up getting a team kill. Thrywin is actually Shadow Warrior is watching for any aggression on the defense through this tunnel. Sometimes the defense can swing all the way out here and challenge Shadow Warrior here. And so, again, if Thrywin were to pop out from their tunnel and try and reconnect with the team, it could result in a team kill. I think they are aware of that risk, and so they won't be entering out from that side. They'll be sticking to the tunnel, and it'll be a matter of how Vikings all patiently set up and get into position to then push into these doorways. We want to pop over to Novius, who is working their way into the tunnel. They may be able to find the backs of a couple of attackers if they're fortunate. Certainly hearing the comms now. Let's see. Iron sights on the AK.
Okay.
Need to work their way ever closer. Mantis not liking to hear this. What a good toss to down Mantis on the back. But now Vikings are getting pinched, and they're actually pushing into the objective space. Thrywin's already inside as they dump out rounds. A trade there through the doorway. Embo's on objective. Table 14 is not checking. Embo's trying to punch the code in, and they get it. Underneath the nose of 14, they cap, and Vikings go up 5-0 on map 3. A tough loss on that final map there for the likes of Dead Logic, but and a commanding performance from Vikings. Ultimately, though, the series concludes, and we are dubbed a champion of all 3 maps, with Vikings, the underdogs, technically in rank, coming out on top. Dead Logic, again, just beating beginners. I don't even know what to expect in this postseason tournament with these teams and how they're all playing so well. And I'll tell you what, you can't expect very good gameplay in the following weekends here. So definitely be sure to tune in next weekend over at twitch.tv/onward_VRML 2 and 3. There should be 3 channels live of VRML action for several hours next weekend. So be sure to tune into that and catch that action. We will then have the champion of Group A and B duking it out the following week. So next week, we will then have another game where it'll be a best of 3, and those teams will compete. to then determine who is our 8th team to move on to the postseason. And so, that is it. Our final Sunday Season 12 Venues broadcast coming at you. Like I said, we will be back here, not next weekend for the Challenger Cup, but the weekend after for the start of the round robin and the semis and finals. And so be sure to follow all the channels and catch all of the action, because you are not going to want to miss any of this postseason gameplay. That has been it for me, however, and that will be it again for Season 12. Appreciate everybody that has stopped by. Hope to see you for the postseason action. But until next time, my name is Ben Nightfire with 2 E's. Stay classy.